Everybody, you already know when you hear that music what time it is. It is another edition of the Shake Back Sports Show. OE, powered by the Big Game Christian Sports Network. Once again, it is on and popping. And we got some things to talk about. And when I say we, who do I mean? I mean John, my brother from the Cleveland Sports Talk writing team. What's going on, John?
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And again, my brother, part of the hashtag Shop Talk that used to go down at Stevie J's Sports and Cuts out in Plano, Texas. We're going to bring back hashtag Shop Talk. Quarantine now. That is none other than my big homie, Michael James Hamilton the second. All right.
What's good with you? What's good with you, gentlemen? How's everybody doing?
Man, everything is great, lovely. It's been a while since I had you on, as you can tell. And we were talking about this off air. It was a time at the barbershop where I had the microphone plugged into my phone, and we would go off to the side and sit down and talk and record. And now look at us now. We on TV.
Hey, man. Already. Progress, man. Already.
That is what that is, man. So I got you guys on. I want to say thank you to both for taking time out of your busy schedule. We're only going to really have one topic that we're going to talk about today, and that is there's a quarterback on a team in a city that has seen a lot of superstars depart. And we're talking about Houston, Texas. JJ Watt is gone. John, I'll let you get into your soliloquy about that here in a minute. James Harden is gone. George Springer from the Astros is gone. And now Deshaun Watson looks like he is going to be on his way out. I think he holds all the cards. So we're going to talk about some possible landing destinations for one Deshaun Watson. And I had one in particular that I want to talk to the fellas about. So, Big Mike, man, I guess you can kind of tell the people out there your feelings about what's going on with Deshaun down in H-Town.
Oh man, not being Houston, not living in Houston, you don't get to hear the buzz like you do when you're in the city. So, it's always a little bit, more to it than what you see on the surface. But just from studying and watching and being around and listening to the things that do go on in the NFL, sound to me most likely those people made him some promises that they just didn't keep. I say you rewind the tape. Whatever Bill O'Brien went into that office, when Bill O'Brien when he went in that office and told him, "Hey man, I'm getting ready to trade DeAndre Hopkins," he should have got fired that day. That's the day he should have got fired. But they didn't. The old man, I think, had died. They were in transition. They didn't have a GM. He was running everything. That's always a bad move to let the head coach have that power. So he making decisions now that somebody really need to pull him to the side and tell him, "Hey man, hold up. We're not gonna do that right there. I don't know what y'all got going on, but we're gonna work that out. We're not getting ready. You don't get these guys that often. We're not getting ready to get rid of him." But since they let him go, Deshaun Watson had to tell him, "Man, what is y'all doing? I'm supposed to do my job. If you're going to get rid of the best thing, my dog, the security blanket that I got, that I know that no matter what, I can throw the ball to him. Why would you get rid of that?"
And from that standpoint, when you have a team that has two players that are arguably and probably easily one of the top three players in the league at their position on the same team, and you make a move like that, John, what say you?
I just, right now, with what happened with JJ Watt, I know that was kind of brought up earlier. His getting his release and this sort of handicapping, kind of keeping Watson kind of prisoner for a few more weeks. I mean, I think you are correct, Willie. I think they are gonna. I think he does hold the cards. I'm anxious to see kind of where I've been kind of looking up, seeing some of these, and I don't know what you're gonna bring up here as far as the teams, but there are a few options out there. I think that there's some really interesting possibilities, especially with the NFL draft coming up. and some things. I mean, he could get traded sooner than that, but yeah, I think he's on his way out. I'm anxious to see what JJ Watt does. Obviously, that's a different story.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Let's just go there right quick, and then we'll get back to Deshaun and some of the places that he could wind up. So, John, you have been an unofficial recruiter for the Cleveland Browns and trying to get JJ Watt to Cuyahoga County. And I want Mike to hear this because it's funny, number one, and number two, it's funnier. So tell the listeners what you are doing personally to get JJ Watt to Cleveland.
Well, I just happened to be down in Houston about a week and a half ago when all this stuff started. I'm taking a break down there and showed up at the airport down there in Houston and found out that JJ Watt, he had just released that video saying that he was going to become a free agent. And so we just thought, let's do a little video and try to recruit JJ to come to Cleveland. Since I was there in Houston, could bring him back with us. So had a lot of conversation going on there, and went down to Florida, posted another little video, and he might be listening. I don't know. We've been tagging him, and he's, I don't know. I wrote a little piece for the ClevelandSportsTalk.com, and all these little teases that he's doing right now. And then he posted some picture of him with his footprint today. Yesterday it was the picture of the dogs in an apartment or something. I think Cleveland has a real good shot. I really do. I had a conversation with Steve from our group of writers too. I know Green Bay's been kind of talked about, Buffalo. I definitely think, though, that with what Cleveland's got to offer, Super Bowl money, the possibility of playing against his brother, that could all bode well for Cleveland. But we had a lot of fun with it, with the little postings. If he does sign with Cleveland, I don't know quite what I'm going to do with, but we'll have to do something. But
what a piece of the pie.
Yeah, man. I think JJ Watt is. I think he earned. I'm not gonna say he earned. They negotiated a way for him to slide up out of town. All the guaranteed money was gone, so it was easy for him to make that move. And better to let him go with a little bit left in his tank. And he wasn't going for that rebuild, no way. And so it was a good partner of the ways. I do think he can go. I think Cleveland is a good option because I think all he needs to do is be the other dude.
Yeah,
see, Miles Garrett is the guy. Yeah. All they need JJ Watt to be, hey man, can you get us 8 sacks? If you can get us 8 sacks and play the run on that end, Miles gonna get 15. So that's all they want. That's all they're looking for. I think Green Bay is a good option for him. That gets you close to the Super Bowl. And I think the Titans are an option because he knows Mike Vrabel.
Home state too, right? Wisconsin. He grew up there. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's where he's from. So all three of those, like you said, Cleveland actually realistically offers you, Super Bowl possibilities. I think that coach they got, Stefanski, I think he was good for the quarterback. I think he was good for him.
And also another team that's in the mix too is the Seattle Seahawks. Quietly, they're in the mix too.
Quietly, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're in the mix too. So, all right, fellas, good stuff there, man. Let's move on to or move back rather to Deshaun Watson. And I had posted something on Twitter at Shakeback Sports or at Shakeback Show rather. You can see the handle going across the screen. It's not Shakeback Sports 1, it's actually Shakeback Show. I gotta change that. But anyway, so yeah, I had posted something out there actually on Facebook too about what will it take, or I'm sorry, because the Panthers are supposedly one of the top 3 or 4 contenders in line to trade for Deshaun Watson and get him out of Houston. So the question was, if Carolina does trade for Deshaun Watson, should running back Christian McCaffrey be a part of the package?
That was the question.
Yeah, should Christian McCaffrey be a part? Christian McCaffrey be a part of the package that goes from Carolina to Houston? Big Mike, what you got?
It depends on which end of that business deal you want to be on. I think it's 2 different perspectives to that. If
Okay, so
If
let's
I, if I'm Houston,
let's
go
do
ahead.
this. So if I'm Houston, do I? No, I'm sorry. If I'm Carolina, and Houston is saying, in order for you to get Deshaun Watson from us, Christian McCaffrey has to be in the deal. Do they do it? Should they do it?
If I'm the GM, yeah, because you know why? I myself, as the GM, as good as Christian McCaffrey is, he got 4 years worth of carries, catches, and injuries on him, and they paying him $16 million a year. I'd rather trade him, get that money off my books, get Deshaun Watson, the elite level talent. I can find another good running back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm out from under all that, money from McCaffrey, because you remember Deshaun coming in making $30-something million a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I gonna dump that 16 from McCaffrey. Let Houston take that. Y'all can have now you got somebody to anchor your running game with whatever you do with your new quarterback, and we get out from under that money. That if I'm Carolina, I hope they want Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, and also too, Mike, the Carolina Panthers have a more than serviceable running back behind Christian McCaffrey and Mike Anderson. I picked him up in my fantasy league last year, and when McCaffrey,
man, look here, man. You can go find a running back at the corner store smoking cigarettes, man. Look, you can find good running backs. All you got to do is have a running back coach.
I disagree with that.
Know what he look for, man.
Wait. Let me get John in here. John, you say
you can find a good running back.
No, I agree with your take that you can get a running back. I think that a running back like Nick Chubb, though, for the Browns is a difference maker. I'm not going back, but this whole
he's elite. He's on the upper end of running back. But
yeah,
in 3 years, he can get up out that door too. Christian, you gotta look at the number of carries, catches, and blocks that Christian McCaffrey has taken.
Trent Richardson, who was the Browns' #1 draft pick like a dozen years ago, he's now playing in the Mexican Football Pro League or something. He got picked up.
Let it go, man. Let it go.
I know. No, I agree. I don't know if I'd trade McCaffrey. I mean, he's the poster child for the Carolina Panthers. He is the face of the franchise.
Oh, Deshaun Watson is the face. If you trade 3 first-round picks, Deshaun Watson is not a face. Do you know what I just said?
Now, I got to know.
Deshaun Watson is a face.
My take on Deshaun Watson, I we can get into this more, but with what it would take, I've contended. I think he's a great quarterback, but his playoff career record is what, 1-2? Is that
exactly? And that's a good record.
I mean, I know Deshaun Watson.
And I'd rather have Deshaun Watson. Hold
on, Mike. Let him go. Let him go.
No, I think that, I just think it's really interesting right now to see some of these deals that are being floated right now as far as what it would take to get Deshaun Watson on your team. Maybe the Broncos or the Jets, or I even heard the 49ers. There was a trade.
Man, I wish I put him on the plane.
It's pretty interesting right now to see where that is, with how, like, many of these projections are trading away at least 2 or 3 first-round draft picks over the next 2 or 3 years. I see Watson as a great quarterback. 3 first-round draft picks over the next 3 years. I just don't know if that's reasonable. It just seems kind of outlandish to me. But
hey, guys, I'm reading something from Peter King. Now, this is funny.
Yes.
So it's a 3-team deal.
Yeah.
San Francisco, Minnesota, and the Texans. The deal.
I don't want nothing Minnesota got.
Kirk Cousins goes to the 49ers.
Yep.
The 49ers will send Jimmy Garoppolo and the 12th overall pick to Houston.
Yeah.
And then the Vikings will give up Anthony Barr, Alexander Madison, the 14th overall pick in this year's draft, and their first round pick in 2023, and second round choices in 22 and 23 to Houston for Deshaun Watson.
See, and then then you get into that the other one where they talk about with the Denver group. I mean, I could see John Elway and that front office really. I mean, they're talking about giving Houston like 4 first-round picks over the next 3 or 4 years. I mean, it's just nuts.
But I'm gonna tell you why that's not gonna work, John. That's not gonna work because Deshaun is not gonna want to go to Denver, and he has a no trade clause. There's only really
why would but that
you don't think? Okay,
why wouldn't he?
Well, because it's Denver, and he would be in no better. Well, let me say this. He actually would have better weapons in Denver.
You think?
Yeah, he would have better weapons in Denver. But I'm thinking in terms of the weather. Would he really want to go there? But
good question. Good question.
Why has it been floated that he's considering the New York Jets?
Because I don't even know.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because
he likes Robert Saleh.
No. If he can go to the Jets and they start putting pieces around him, like what Kansas City has, and I'm gonna tell y'all something about Kansas City. Kansas City's wide receiver core is overrated. You take away Tyreek Hill, and they are average at best. But that's another story for another day.
I hate those Chiefs.
Yeah, me too. I hate them. But if he goes to New York and gets with the Jets, and they start putting some pieces around him, I can see why he would want to go there and kind of like set a legacy with a franchise that's been bigger and just torn down for the last several years. So, all right, guys, let's get back to this. I wanted to ask you too about, or I want to give my take rather on Christian McCaffrey going to the Texans. Yeah. If I were the Texans, I probably wouldn't do it because of everything that Mike said about the wear and tear on Christian McCaffrey's body. He had 2 major injuries this past season, one with the ankle and one with the shoulder. And when you start getting those types of injuries, it usually starts to go downhill from there. But another thing too, I mean, they just signed Teddy Bridgewater to a 4-year, $64 million contract at the beginning of in the offseason last year. And maybe the Texans would try to get Teddy and Christian.
They don't want that. Find out how much guaranteed money Teddy had. That'll tell you the trail, right? That'll tell you all you need to know.
Yeah,
it all depends on how much guaranteed money Teddy got.
Yeah, and that is a factor in it. But just looking at it, from a surface standpoint, player to player, pimp to pimp. Oh no, that's another thing. But if you look at it from on the surface, as far as players, without really discussing the money, and I know we can't really do it without the money.
You can't, because all of that matters. All of that matters.
But we can for the purposes of this conversation because this is the fun part of it, and this is what we do this is what we do. But I think I would love to see. Let me tell you where I would love to see Deshaun Watson end up. I'm not gonna say Vegas because it's my team.
Yeah, I wouldn't want him with John Gruden. John Gruden has never developed a quarterback to his peak.
I actually would love to see him end up in San Francisco.
Yeah.
With those running backs and with Debo, tuck your chain, Mike. Tuck your chain. With Debo,
it would be beautiful. It would be beautiful.
Yeah,
I think he would flourish.
Yeah, that trade between what Peter King projected today in his fantasy was basically that 3-way trade that included the Minnesota Vikings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. See, Kyle Shanahan has a thing for Kirk Cousins, so I do not wholeheartedly dismiss that. He has a thing for Kirk Cousins, so I don't doubt that he's somewhere sniffing about that. I really don't. I myself, I don't want Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
I say either go young and start over, get the rookie that you want, or get a better. Don't go get a slightly better No, go get somebody either better or start young and just go from there, man.
Yeah, and that comes from their time in Washington together. All right, fellas, man, I'm done. I mean, that's really it. I'm glad that you guys poured in that insight. John, I want you to plug yourself. This is the shameless plug portion of the episode. So I want you to plug yourself. Go ahead.
Well, tune into the Johnny Cleveland podcast. We come on a couple times during the week, and we just enjoy kind of talking a lot about Cleveland sports and all sorts of fun things that are going on in the world of life. So tune in. Been doing the show now for about a year. I had my 100th episode this past week, so had get my kids to come on a little bit, and we just do it for the fun and the entertainment value, such as this great podcast here. So.
And what's your Twitter information?
It is at J Cleveland Pod. It's on Facebook and on Twitter. My email is jclevelandpod@gmail.com. And we've also got tantalizing apparel and gifts on Zazzle.com. You can type in Johnny Cleveland Podcast, and you can get yourself a coffee mug, a T-shirt. Have had a really good run with that. So. You might consider getting one of those, Willie.
Yeah, I may have to do that. We'll see. I'm working on some other things right now. All right, Mike. I see you got your brand on. I see you got your brand on right there, Mike. Go ahead and plug it in, man.
Hey, man. I get any and everybody to go to schoolclothes.org. SKOOLCLOTHES.org. You can find me on Instagram at schoolclothes2310 and on Facebook at Michael James Hamilton II. Appreciate you, gentlemen.
Michael James Hamilton II. John Sujan, Cleveland Sports Talk, Willie Epstein Jr., BGC Sports Network. We're going to get out of here, man. Y'all take care of each other. Y'all live each other. Y'all hug each other, and we will talk to y'all again real soon. Peace. We out. We out of here.
We out of here.